Nadeshot recently shared his thoughts on Call of Duty, pulling out all the stops with the return of Warzone's Verdansk coming sometime soon. And will this be enough for the game to save itself? He, alongside many other top streamers, you can name Tim and Ninja, also Nadeshot himself, have converted over from Call of Duty / Warzone, or for Fortnite, with a guy like Ninja, and now gone to Marvel Rivals, and if not actually kept their numbers, have actually improved their viewership numbers by changing their main game completely. And so Call of Duty, is it enough to actually bring back the big streamers like Tim, like Nadeshot? Ninja doesn't like Call of Duty. Well, we're going to find out.
Does COD have a return? I don't know, man. I don't know. I saw that they were teasing with the... I think Call of Duty right now is trying to pull out all the stops, bro, with Verdansk on the way back. I saw that they're experimenting with 150 player count in the lobbies, which is a substantial jump, I would say, from whatever it is now. What is it, like 100? I actually don't know the exact number, but I think 150 is definitely more than what we're used to. Did they have 150 at any point in Warzone's history? Which I think is actually a good call. I don't know why. I think there should be more players, not less. And then I saw that they're also bringing back floating loot, which God only knows why they would have ever removed that in the first place. It's like, why would you take anything out that would make the game more fluid and efficient? I'm telling you, bro, Call of Duty has just had like a problem with listening to the wrong people in the community. Like, I know that the older generation that kind of grew up on COD was complaining that the game was too fast and it was moving too quick, but I think you need to keep that game as fluid and fast-paced as possible, bro. I mean, that's the whole point of skill-based matchmaking, right? If they have skill-based matchmaking implemented and it's working the way that it should, you don't dial up skill-based matchmaking and keep everybody separated from each other and then slow down the game as well. It's either one or the other. Like, the skill-based matchmaking is literally the reason that's accomplishing the goal that they're looking to accomplish, man, to cater towards all types of players. Skill high or low, it doesn't matter. That's what skill-based matching is for. And then they just decided to double up and slow the game down. I think floating loot is a no-brainer, bro. I don't know why they ever would have removed that in the first place. I'm not a Warzone expert, to be honest with you, though, bro. I've had moments and time throughout my years playing Warzone, but I'm not the guy that's going to tell you, like, what's right, what's wrong, and what's going to fix it and what won't. But I'll tell you what, just from the years I've played, I think slowing the game down is a nightmare, and it's a recipe for disaster. So we'll see.
As Nadeshot also continues saying that Call of Duty is listening to the wrong audience. There's been a big debate out there. Should the game be a fast-paced shooter? Should it be slower, a slower competitive kind of style? I don't really know. I kind of fall in the middle because when it comes to fast-paced shooters, I'm old, right? So maybe I'm the audience they should or should not be listening to. But Nadeshot also says they're kind of band-aiding all of their problems. At the end of the day, you can bring back Verdansk. You can bring back these OG maps, modes, weapons, whatever you want to do. But if you can't fix the base and core problems, cheating and hacking being one of them, you're just putting a band-aid on it. What's eventually not going to work out. People will come back in a bump, but if there's still not a faithful or a legitimate match and fair play to be, then people aren't going to stick around anyway.
But again, I do believe that Call of Duty they're kind of just continuing to put band-aids on their problems. If you bring Verdansk back, right? And that's going to be their first opportunity to bring a lot of players back to Call of Duty to like sign on for the first time in months or years, just for the nostalgia factor. I mean, we've seen every game do it, right? Like Fortnite has brought back Season 1 and Tilted Towers a million times. You've had other games bring back some of the most beloved modes and maps. And Call of Duty's done that too before, but Verdansk coming back for the first time in a long time. Floating loot, great. 150 player count, great. They're obviously trying to make sure that people have fun when they get back. But I think the issue is still going to be the hacking and the cheating situation, bro. I mean, all these good things that they're doing are kind of null and void if you get on and you can't play a real game of Call of Duty, a fair game of Call of Duty. So we'll see, man. I don't know. We're going to check out Verdansk, I would imagine, at some point, but I'm not holding my breath, man.
Then he also further talks about what we talked about earlier, that being the slower paced Call of Duty versus a faster paced Call of Duty. I don't know what you guys actually enjoy. If any of you guys are Halo guys, I'm more of a Halo guy, which seems a bit slower paced than Call of Duty, of course, with the shield aspect too. The kill time, definitely a slower kind of aspect, which I've started to enjoy. Is that because I'm getting older? Probably. So all you youngins, don't get mad at me. But I don't really know what I want out of a Call of Duty, because Call of Duty is also just... it is so much more of a fast-paced game than most that I play.
COD needs to slow down and go back to actual war shooter. See, Jack, that's kind of the issue, bro. I genuinely completely disagree with everything you just said. And I mean that with all due respect, brother. Like, I'm not attacking you. I'm just saying our opinions differ entirely. Like, when you say a slow war shooter, my brain does not fit in with that ideology at all. Call of Duty was an arcade shooter that was unrealistic but fast-paced. At the time, what I would consider like Black Ops 2, even though it's much slower than what Call of Duty is today, that was still considered to be like a fast-paced shooter compared to other games that we had on the market at that time, in my personal opinion. And it's supposed to be fluid. It's supposed to be intuitive. But I just think there's a weird disconnect between generations that have played Call of Duty and spent time on that game. You know, you got a lot of old folks that are around my age that grew up with it in like the World at War, Modern Warfare. You know, the entire cosmetic skin around the game was like war-torn maps, you know, military cosmetics. Everybody was just like a soldier. And I see a lot of people on TikTok complaining about customization and some of the fictional and out there skins that are available in the store today. See, I actually love that, bro. You know, I think people tend to hate the cosmetics in Call of Duty just because of the idea of microtransactions and having to pay for these skins. But I don't think that a character that's got wings on their back and feet that light up when they run and gloves that are glowing affect how much fun you're going to have on the game in any capacity. Like, it doesn't change the way that you're going to experience the game. To be honest with you, people that get upset about the crazy customization with the skins and camos, I don't think those people actually enjoy playing Call of Duty. I think they just have something that they want to complain about.
So that was Nadeshot's thoughts on Call of Duty, and of course Warzone and Verdansk returning. It is crazy. For the first time in a long time, we are talking about notable Call of Duty streamers who might not even be giving it much of a try unless they come back for a few days, which I think Nadeshot will try out. Verdansk, I think Tim the Tatman will as well, but I think they're swiftly going to be moving back to Marvel Rivals, which if you would have told me a year ago that, hey, they're going to be switching to like a this lane shooter just like Overwatch and not be playing Warzone or Call of Duty ranked or multiplayer, I would have called you crazy. And now they're doing it even when they're not being paid to do it, because their viewership numbers are also supporting them playing a game that is more fun for a lot of people right now. And that's coming from a guy, I'm not even a Marvel Rivals fan. I play Smite and Halo, as you guys know, and we're suffering over here. And then all of my favorite streamers, they won't even touch those games. So, yeah, if you're a Marvel fan, consider yourself lucky. And if you're a Call of Duty fan, consider yourself finding a new game maybe. Until next time, take care of yourselves, guys. Go get a coffee, maybe a water, and I'll see you back here tomorrow morning, bright and early.